Elevated Times podcast. Welcome. I'm Marty. This is my cousin,
Sean.
and this is our podcast where we just talking about things that elevate our lives, things we do for maybe like hobbies or have fun with, or just anything really. Just a podcast where we're gonna talk about things we enjoy. Hopefully, you enjoy. We can build a nice, like-minded community around that, and we hope you guys enjoy. But we're just um, gonna get into it and goof around, talk, and hang out. And we're not gonna do much different than we would normally if we are just hanging out. But we're kind of just turning it into a podcast. So hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah. This is Elevated Time Podcast,
Episode 1, baby.
Episode 1.
Some of the things, we're here, like as you said, to share build a community, talk about the things that we love and things that we enjoy. One thing that the easiest way I could describe stuff that I love is I love a good story. I'm a sucker for a good story. And like whether it's dark, funny, a little romantic. You struggling?
Struggling so hard.
I guarantee I get it.
Dude, what is
it's probably you gotta push too.
You do, I know.
Push down.
I know, I am. Oh my god. It's been like just stuck.
Fantastic.
Wow. As you were saying.
Yeah, what was I saying? Like as I was saying, I'm a sucker for a good story. Whether I'm reading it, watching it, playing it, video games, that's just something that's always driven me, or even like plays, musical theater, that stuff. Like, there's just amazing stories out there, and like the idea of touching on the human condition, like, one, that's kind of a broad statement when you're talking about any like just stories, but I just think that there's always something to take from it, and like sharing that is in essence like one of the more beautiful things that humans can do.
For sure, definitely. I think relating to that emotional level to any story, because you're not necessarily a story's about human, but like it can still have that emotion relevancy
absolutely
to the human condition. And I love a great story too, that. I mean, you're definitely more in depth with some of the more deep roots of it, but I mean, who doesn't like a good story? But I mean, we like some more broad stuff for sure.
That's true.
And what kind of things you've been watching lately? I'm curious.
Dude, I say this all the time, but I have taken in so much content lately. It's ridiculous. So, like, regular TV shows, I just finished watching The Bear. I just was watching, I watched a few horror movies, so I started catching up on the new American Horror Story season.
Yeah.
Pretty good so far, bunch of anime, so.
Of course.
Fire Force. There's a new one by Netflix called Pluto. Super cool.
You were mentioning that earlier.
Yeah.
It's new?
New.
It's been manga now, first time being animated.
So, it is based off of Astro Boy.
Okay.
Which is like a 50s anime.
Yes, yeah. Everyone,
manga. Yeah, classic.
I don't want to say everyone knows Astro Boy, but if you're in that realm, you should know who Astro Boy is. Yeah.
And honestly, like, just basically, like, storytelling, like, it's very well known because it was big. But yeah, they basically redid that, and it's like this whole commentary on the Iraq War, which gets really crazy.
Really?
Yeah, basically you take weapons of mass destruction, instead it's robots of mass destruction. So there's like these yeah, seriously, almost. But like super AI intelligent generated robots that were used to fight a war, and the idea of that war was this country had these weapons, and the United States of Thracia, they call them, which is just
Thracia,
because they didn't want to say the United States, but it was the United States.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we think you have weapons. We're gonna send these robots in to try to find the weapons.
Yeah.
They don't find them, but it still sparks a war, and it's just like robot genocide.
Yeah.
And then it like starts like 7-8 years later, whatever, and like there's these few robots that start getting taken out, and just kind of spirals from there. It talks a lot about humanity, the idea of what life is, war, the repercussions of that. Beautiful story. I'm watching that.
Is there only one season of that show? And it's new.
Just came out, I think.
And it's completely just an animation that they made based off of already past.
It's based on. It's not exactly Astro Boy or anything like that.
Loosely based, or.
Yeah, loosely based. Besides that,
dude, I was randomly watching Prison Break because I keep seeing things on it, and I
Yeah.
know it's kind of have like a little cult following. Not terrible.
Okay.
It's
Well,
definitely
I'll probably get in.
like some of those. I mean, I'm probably in like the third or fourth, maybe fifth or sixth episode of the first season. Yeah,
That's
not
like-
seasons.
yeah,
Just like a handful of episodes in. Don't hate it. It's definitely kind of has like that early-ish 2000s acting. You know what I mean? For that
Yeah.
kind of like drama-ish.
A little
Well,
played up.
it's not even so played up. It's almost just like I don't know if it's like I can't. I don't want to say played up, but like the acting feels like acting, and that's not a bad thing all the time.
Right.
But it's in some scenes almost like, But then maybe that's like how they want their character to be. I don't know. It's I'm very new and only watched so many episodes to be having
First season.
Yeah, to have any input of the show itself as a whole. Any diehard fans out there, but I don't hate it. I'd like to see where it goes. They're talking about bringing another season in.
Yeah, it's
I don't
crazy.
know how long the show's been off air, and I'm not even sure when the first season was filmed. I'd have to guess late 2000s, like 2006, 7, 8, 9. I could be wrong.
Do you know how many seasons there are as of now?
I think there's 5, and they're talking about bringing a 6th season, so.
Nostalgia.
It's definitely not a dull show, you know what I mean?
I mean, Prison Break. I'd hope it wouldn't be.
No, I know. Yeah. Well, I've seen like on like reels on Instagram or like TikTok, and like just like catch myself. I'm like, what is this show? And I'm looking in the comments. It's like Prison Break, and everyone's like, I freaking love that show. And like I don't know. Subconsciously, that must have just been like lingering because I just saw it on Hulu. I think shout out Hulu and just started watching it. Also. Shout out Apple TV because I just
TV,
dude,
okay.
I've never used it,
Yeah.
and I did the free trial because I've been dying to watch that Zac Efron movie, the famous beer run.
I have not heard of this.
Oh my god, a
No.
guy during the Vietnam War
open that
from
for
New York, some guy from New York literally goes over to Vietnam as a civilian to hand out beers to his buddies. It was based off a true story.
I love that.
And Zac Efron plays the dude.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's Chucky Donahue. It's a good movie.
Donahue. So is it like?
That's another one I've seen clips of. Isn't that the worst? Can I just bring that up? Isn't it the worst when you just see clips of a movie and you're like, damn, this looks like it'd be a good watch, and then like you forget about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All the time.
and then you're like, damn, and then you're trying to look for something to watch. Like I know I've come across so many things that like I said I was going to set out to go find and watch, and then you just can't think of them or forget.
Yeah. Like it's as much as I said, like I love a good story and I'm loving taking in content. I've always been into that way. There's so many big things that I know I haven't died. Like we were talking the other day. Never watched Sopranos.
I know you're crazy for that.
I am crazy for that because I know I like it. I know it's good.
But I'm crazy for never. Listen to me now. Al Pacino. Al Pacino. I'm confident on that. I'm
Okay.
not getting that wrong.
Yeah.
Al Pacino, dude. Al Pacino, from how I've seen him, because I never seen Scarface until recently.
Okay.
And my interpretation of him as an actor, like I knew he was so famous from that one role, and I just never seen it. And then I'd see him, and I'm like, da-da-da. No wonder why he's so famous for that one role.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a good watch, and for an older film, it's a long movie, and it's tough to have a good long movie to keep you in there. But bravo, like, we need a movie like that.
That's a movie I would love to rewatch. I love something with rewatchability, and there's certain things that I love that just don't have it.
Yeah, have you seen Scarface?
Years ago, so
Really?
long ago.
Oh, okay.
Like I definitely watched that with my buddy Big Mike.
Yeah.
Big Mike. He's also getting married. Good for him.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Everyone's getting married.
Everyone's
having
getting
kids. Married and having kids. So we're 90s born. I'm 95.
94.
Yeah. Grew up, in the late 90s, early 2000s. So yeah, we've seen some shit. We've seen some
been through
shit
it.
move fast.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Oh, you know what? I did want to bring this up because we're talking about movies and stuff like that. I'm sure if you're seeing this and if you're this far in, you've heard of the SAG-AFTRA strikes and the actors on strike, the writers that all got settled.
yeah.
And one of the big things with the actors this whole summer has been like you can't go to premieres.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You can't be promoting struck work, which makes sense. You gotta stab the big companies where you can.
Yeah.
Well, crazy enough, Hunger Games is getting a prequel, and the actors, I guess they went to the premiere in Germany. I don't know if that was like a thing because it was out of the United States.
I thought this faded off and they'd already come to like a conclusion with this. No?
The Hunger Games?
No, the whole strike kind of thing.
It seemed like they were maybe going to go that way. It was the writers, but the actors are still on strike.
Oh, okay.
And then when the writers got they kind of got their deal and they were happy with it and they kind of went back to work.
Yeah.
People thought the actors were going to be going back, or like at least meeting at the tables with the companies pretty soon, and it would work out. Basically, reports pretty soon after that were like, no, they still kind of holding strong against the actors, and the actors were like, well, we're not gonna give up either. But I've been hearing a lot of whispers recently, before I even heard about this thing with the Hunger Games premiere, that it's been looking better, and it might, there seems to be an insight possibly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, it's coming up on almost a season now of TV and movies that like there just hasn't been stuff, We haven't talked, and like
I haven't followed it as much as you, so
Yeah.
I don't have too many comments on it. But it is crazy.
yeah, I mean, like, even the whole idea with like content creators, like, there was Netflix had the One Piece live action, which was huge, like,
It put One Piece on the map.
yeah,
Not that it already wasn't for people who knew about it, but anybody who didn't know what One Piece was now knows, or has some kind of idea because of Netflix.
and I'm not gonna get too much into the live action,
Yeah.
but it was big, and there's a reason, and they're feeling that hurt. They have to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just the idea of like the way things were talked about before all this happened, even just like a year ago, like content creation, TV commercials, clips about new stuff coming out was always big.
Yeah.
Like you were always hearing about something new. They were announcing Disney movie remakes
Oh yeah.
5 years in the future.
They are
Now.
running y'all for your money. So that brings me up to two things, and I'll say this one quick one first. It reminds me of when the Lion King live action came out. I don't know why. I'm a big Lion King fan. I love that movie. And so does my girl Katie, and me and her and our buddy Johnny. She's more than my girl, but freaking her and my buddy Johnny, we were like, let's go see it. And I tell you, when we went to the theaters and watched that movie, and it sucked the soul out of you. It was literally in line perfectly with what you would have just watched animated, with just new voice actors, and like not like all because it's just animated animals to look real, and I don't know. I just was like, ugh. I'm not a fan. I never want to watch it again for the rest of my life. I watched it once in theaters, and I always will just watch the classic animated, those great songs. Elton John is an amazing fucking songwriter.
Was Elton John? Oh, he was Lion King. I was thinking Tarzan and Phil.
No, it's Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
I just heard you say Elton John and thought Phil Collins.
No, Elton John, dude. Oh, freaking, there's some great songs.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to hear something super disappointing.
I had to say it one time.
They're doing another live action Mufasa movie. Same exact thing, but it's a.
I'm done, bro. What?
Yeah, no, seriously. I think it's next year. It's coming out.
Bro, I think, and then all right. So that was just a side note, just
Yeah.
funny. But to what you were talking about before, like the whole actor and Netflix and big stuff and content creators, with the independency that is in today's world, where like if it's a big company corporation like Netflix that has the money and can just shit out anything it wants if it thinks it's going to be profitable, and then you have people who are like individual content creators who like sources of media through internet. It really, how much you putting into it, I guess, per se, and how popular you are and how much people are attracted to you. But in that sense, I mean, with the independency of today's like content that can be created, it leaves no wiggle room, I guess I would want to say. No wiggle room for people who are like diehard, hardworking, like an actor or somebody who feels like they want to be put in this role and be respected because you want to respect your art, what you created. But Netflix don't respect it. They want money, and it's all with the dollar bills. And then if a content creator gets so big, it doesn't so much become about their fan base anymore, or even what they originally maybe went into it for, that it consumes them. I've seen it happen when people like, that first mail maybe didn't hit them, and then you see them like, what happened to these people? It's not even like the same.
Yeah.
It's like you adjusted your ways to be more and more profitable instead of just sticking to, your true self and form of art.
Right. Like, I think there's some content creators that have had this sort of argument that, like, if you were that person that your content was just talking about this company's stuff, like, there's some people who just talk about one topic or one, like, company, products. Like, yeah, that's fine, but eventually, these corporations, then like you said, they don't give a. They just want money. They don't really necessarily care about the actors making the right amount of money for what they're doing.
And that doesn't mean it's coming out bad stuff they're
Right.
putting out.
Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, if that company ends up doing some bad stuff, and you have nothing else to fall back on, like, no, it's not on you, but like, you know, you got to be able to put yourself out there. You know, it's not. I don't want to just be like this guy. You know, I want to be me.
Yeah.
I want to be me and putting myself out there just because I want to find those like-minded people. You know, I want to find those people that I can have these discussions with. Be like, yo, the new One Piece chapter dropped, and that was crazy. Or like, I'm super excited for this new movie or this book I'm reading. Like, whatever it is. But yeah, you know, I think it's some people are finding themselves. I think some people found themselves in that situation, and that's why anime is getting so big. You know, this past summer it's blown up. Luffy is going to be in the Thanksgiving parade. You heard about that? Yeah, dude. Oh. For the first time. So Naruto had a blimp before, and I think he's been in the last few. But One Piece, Luffy is making his debut this Thanksgiving at the Macy Day Parade. So definitely check that out.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know, I'm pretty stoked. Like,
it's so funny because I remember like early 2000. If you look at an early 2000s Thanksgiving, oh my god, how prejudiced some of the stuff was in there. And it's fun. It's funny because like you see that other kid who went around, you know, wearing like the attire, and he said it was like, not to drop, like he was wearing like he dressed like in like a sombrero. I'm going to see Mexicans and be like, this is offending. They'd be like, no. We go up to like some white college students and they'd be like, it's super offensive.
Yeah.
So
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. In that same sense, I totally just brain farted. I lost it. I lost it. I can't even reel it out.
It'll come back.
I could have kept bullshitting something else and maybe it would have came back, but no, I. And on that note,
we're talking about Luffy, but you know what? The prejudice of like Thanksgiving parade just when we were in middle school.
Oh yeah, no, but what was I was getting at? Thank you. So with the kid with the prejudice stuff.
Yeah.
So in the way they show, if you can find this video from it, it's like how they're portraying like Asia, and it seemed pretty kind of like lean more towards racist than it did like.
Oh,
you know,
like in like media of the U.S. at that time,
dude. In the parade.
Oh yeah.
Like people who weren't like Asian people, like
they were like that's fucked.
Yeah, and like the way they did it, but like I don't know. Yeah, it's like how you interpret it, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean,
but I see both sides, so I find it funny.
Like, you know, political correctness. There's a point where it's like, I don't know. I can laugh at humor pointed at anyone. It's kind of what I lean.
Yeah.
But like, there was so many, and there definitely still are, microaggressions in society towards other, you know, minority groups. Yeah. Like, just, you know, weird little like, even you go back a few years, you'll see the jokes that people made on The Office. You know, like that couldn't fly these days.
Oh, for real.
Go back to the first, and like that's known. Even the people who wrote it, like BJ Novak, he knows that, which is crazy that they're doing a remake
of The Office.
Yep.
I don't believe that.
Swear to God.
Believe it when I see it.
Yeah, which I'm super nervous about.
Hey, say something random.
Random.
Clever. Say something random without the word random.
Okay. Well, oh my God, I wish I could show this thing right now.
That's what she said. Hey! I didn't know what he was gonna say. It could have been anything, but it worked.
I was gonna just point out my vinyl on the wall that has E.T. hiding behind a tree. I love that thing. The one that's running the thermostat. You see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, do you ever notice the E.T.'s right there?
You showed me before. I see him.
I feel like I gotta grab you. Get him.
You want me to pull it
real quick? Just because I pointed it out, you made me talk about it.
I made you talk about it. Oop.
Oh, the nail came out. So very cool. I don't know if you have it facing the right way.
Oh, I do.
Okay. Don't know. Actually, you know what? Able Thought? Maybe the artist? I'll try to find out.
Oh, the tacking fell.
It's alright. It's you just put it there, yeah. So what's really cool is, you know, one, he put that art on it, but that's on one side. The other side, bless you, completely playable. And that's like French horn, like instrumental music, like not instrumental, instructional music, like learn how to play the French horn. But yeah, I could totally play that vinyl. I mean, it would kind of mess up the art if I, you know, please be face down, but very cool. Local New England area artist. That's the most
Oh,
I'll
who
go.
made that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got it
no
at like a
shit.
flea market thing. Very, very cool. It was pretty cheap too.
Oh shit. Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, that's the random thing that I thought of.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You seem like you're distracted.
I'm just yeah.
You're looking around.
I'm feeling that joint. That pre-roll.
And you're like looking around, like what's on the walls that I could talk
I'm
about?
freaking. I'm chilling.
Ooh, you know what? I have a question for you.
A question.
So you have a pretty. Like, I'm sure you can see. I got random things I collect.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite collectible? A favorite item of yours? Like, when you every time you see that, you're just like, yes.
Yes. It's my old Decepticon Corvette Panther. I forget his name. He's like the Panther guy, and it's like a Corvette, and I believe it's like a 98, 99. Like you have to like it's a puzzle to put this thing into a car, and then to put it. And once you figure it out, it's not that much of a puzzle. Like you can see how a kid could get it at some point.
It's black,
but
right?
yeah,
Yeah, I've
it's
never seen this.
black Corvette. I'm missing the top piece, but besides that, just the top. So the top's off. It was meant to come off, so
Yeah.
you know, be a convertible or whatever. But yeah, I like that. It's just old. It's an old Transformer. They do not make them like that era, and I really love Transformers, especially the toys. Like as a kid, they were sick.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I love when they had like the mini ones.
Oh yeah.
And
Fuck
you could
yes.
put it on. I remember I had the Megatron, and he's like a tank, dude. And you could put all the mini ones on him.
Yep.
Oh, and in that TV series, oh, have you never seen that, dude? That was so sick.
I don't know why it made me think of the Beast Wars ones where it was like the gorilla and the dinosaur.
The newest one they just made showed
Yeah.
them all up.
They did
People
it
don't
again.
people don't understand. I don't even want to get into it. I won't.
Please do.
No, because I don't know how factual I am or how right I am, and I don't want to be called out.
Okay.
But is it not that the Transformers, as in the aliens, came to the planet Earth before there was even like civilization of humans, and that's why they had animal.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's why they had animal shapes, and then they were to have left, or maybe they stayed there the whole time. I forget. I thought they left and then found their way back.
I think so because that just rings a bell with the old cartoon that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Like that maybe at the end of Beast Wars, you found out they went back up into space, and that's when they had the big fight with the Decepticons.
Yeah.
And then 1,000 years later, I'm pretty sure that
I
rings a
don't
bell.
know.
But hey, if we're wrong, we're wrong. We don't
Yeah.
pretend to be experts. This is
No,
just shit that we.
I just-
yeah.
You know, half of it's made up. So
It's crazy they redid those toys too.
dude.
I kind of wanted to get one, but they were just so expensive.
I'm sorry, and maybe some like 70s and 80s kids like, who grew up in that era would argue with us. We grew up with the best fucking toys.
Oh, we
Dude,
do.
we had some crazy toys.
Yeah.
We were the can't even think of anything good. I'm gonna say something. Everyone's gonna fact check me, but 81.
That was 80. That was 89.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, because I thought of
AOL.
but that was big around our time for sure. I mean,
Dude, ripsticks. Those things where you go like this.
see, was that not early 2000s?
It wasn't.
Oh, it did, really?
I don't think so. I think it was
Okay.
late 2000s or maybe even the 2010s. I don't know when those things came out, but those things are sick.
Never had the balance for that.
Yeah, I know. But those things are dope.
See, I thought of like the old Hulk hands or the sock and bop
Oh,
things and you
yeah.
just beat the crap out of each
See,
other.
I had so many to say, and then I'm like, wait, those might. Is the Super Soaker? Can we fact check that? When was the Super Soaker made?
The original definitely later than you're thinking, or earlier than you're thinking.
That's what I'm saying, because I know that dude. I know the dude who did that shit. He's a real one. Science, bitch.
1989.
89, so close to the cutoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew it wasn't that long. But 89, that's a great toy, dude. Those things literally could have taken out an eye as a kid.
Dude, eventually they had to make the blasters with the shield. Because
Yeah,
they knew
oh
they
my-
were gonna, knock some teeth or some eyes out.
Dude, when those things were fresh out the box,
Dude, remember you'd fucking pull it out of the shed with the water that's
Yeah.
piss warm and
it's just been sitting, sitting
Yeah,
in
you're
that
like, I
barrel for
don't-
like 8 months.
literally almost a whole year,
Yeah.
depending on when you pull it out. And my brother would chase me with that first shot. I feared the day we pulled them out the first time because I would be so excited, and then I realized, oh, he's gonna get me with the big soaker,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be the oldest, grossest water that you can imagine.
I want to make that like a rule with my kids. I want to have Super Soaker at the end of the season. Whoever like wins like some little shooting like cups off thing competition, they get to fill it up with their pee. No.
And
They
you
get to fill it
blast
up
your
with
brothers.
you get to fill it up with water and leave it in the shed all year, and you get the first shot with gross, nasty avoided from
some rat shit.
Yeah. This is nasty year water.
I love that.
That's so funny. Just like force it upon them.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know why I was gonna bring this up. We had, little backstory behind the curtain. We both actually just started, not my first, but your first real D&D session.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Before we get too much into that, in that conversation when we were chilling that night, we brought up the topic of the trip game.
Yes.
Someone said something about what we used to do back in the day, and I was like, yo, the trip game.
I think John said something about it, and then me and you probably talked about it more than anyone.
But, this is an iconic game that me and all my friends, my brother and his friends, it was the most violent game that we could have imagined in my house. So
basically, not to cut you off, he just had the perfect, like, it's like a ranch, like when you go up and down. I think there's 2,000. I don't know what it's fucking called. It's a ranch, but when you go down, like you could go all the way to the right and all the way to the left, mad far, and there was just 2 doors. Mm-hmm. So we would shut the doors and have somebody wait while a gang of the rest of us would prepare to jump out and attack the person. Yeah. In the dark, mind you. We'll shut every light off, and the goal was to reach to the other side without getting absolutely knocked out, beat up, or like a tooth lost. And even to make it better, the ending, and right where a fireplace is.
Yeah, right at the end. The end goal was the fireplace made of brick. So, like, if anything...
All fireplaces are made of brick.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Probably not.
Like, the fact that nobody cracked their skull off that thing in the 12 years that game was played throughout.
We were vicious but friendly. I remember we'd get, like, you remember how, like, the big cushions that you'd sit on can come out?
Oh, yeah, so we would get every blanket, pillow, cushion from every part of the house.
Yeah, that's an important part.
Because that was
we would
part
make
of
it
safety.
Make it as cushiony as possible, but still violent. So, yeah, that's true. I remember that at one point, really, we should put something by the
but I mean, eventually it just became, we put, like, the black leather couch in front of the door, and also, like you said, pitch black. Dude. So you would run just right into the couch.
I'm telling you, we're sprinting in the dark, just like, it's probably like
midnight, at least. We would wait.
Like 30 feet from the entrance of that room to the back wall of the bricks. Like 30, 40 feet. Yeah.
And that's running from...
Enough space to get a run, but like, oh my god, tight.
Right. Like, all the way through this room, into a little hallway, and then into, like, at that time, you are sprinting.
Know what the funnest part about that game really was? What? Was huddling up on the team and being like, moving a bunch of furniture and coming up with all these crazy ideas. Like, we're going to put the couch right there. We'll confuse them not to jump over. And as soon as they jump over, you'll come out and bash them over the head. And then you're going to crouch down right there and just kick them in the leg, trick them. Not too hard. We don't want to hurt anybody. We'd say shit like that, too.
The mental games we play. Like, they're expecting this. Like, we gotta... What was do you remember, like, is there anything that stands out? Like, the couch in front, that was a good one.
Yeah, I do remember that one, dude. Oh, my God.
I know.
I remember, I think it was me and Ryan. Or no, I could be wrong. I think it was me and you or me and John. It was one of us, but I think it was Ryan who got the hit. He came through, and we took the pillows, like, out of the couch. Yeah. And we freaking just ran together and sandwiched him right as he walked in.
Yeah, and, like, the fact that it was in the dark and, like, perfect timing on, like, that was amazing.
And I'm pretty sure he was like, turn on the light. Turn on the light. He's like, what just happened? I'm not even trying.
One of my favorites was we took all the blankets. So the ceiling was like, it had that shit, not even plywood, but you know how you could lift up the tiles?
Drop ceiling.
Yeah, drop ceiling. You could lift up the tiles and we put the blankets so they hung from the ceiling to the floor. So we made, even this is all dark. It also made a dark tunnel of blankets going into the first, like, 6 steps of the room.
Step away. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, so, like, the blankets, that was phenomenal because, like, you see them at first and you're like, I think it was Ryan who had to do it. We knew he was afraid. Like, he saw that blanket, he was like, I can't go in. Like, what do I do? And as soon as he walked in, we all just, from all sides of it, just fucking started smacking him, hitting him with the pillows, and, like, yeah, you got messed up. But the best one of all time. Oh, yeah, we're out. No more beer.
Thirsty as fuck.
The best one of all time.
Thirsty
My friend John. Love him. But as a kid, he had a temper.
Oh,
and we knew it. And one year, it was just after Thanksgiving. And my family always does a spiral ham with the turkey. And we decided to get the ham And as soon as he walked in, we pelted him with leftover cold ham. And he got hit in the face, and he was pissed.
I was not here for this.
You weren't? Oh, man.
You
dude.
just pelted food in John's face? Oh my.
We hit him with ham.
How is he even still friends with you?
Oh, my God. It was so bad. Honestly, I don't know.
I remember like weird middle
The
school
fact that
times.
we wasted food like that disappoints me because I love ham. That's my favorite thing.
I love ham.
So I can't believe you did that.
Freaking one of those like weird, awkward like middle school times where it's like, you know, put your headphones on, like listen to this demonic shit for 3 hours and see what happens to you. And you just have to like close your eyes and say, just like some weird creepy. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god.
There was the ones that was like, this is what it's like to take marijuana.
Yeah.
And you listen to it, you're gonna feel like you're high. There was one that was like death's door, you know? It was like the 13-minute, it's just creepy. I feel like it would get your heart racing a little bit, but that was also just because like
you're in your head about it.
Yeah.
Because you're an idiot.
It was eye dozers, right? Is that what they were on YouTube?
I don't know.
That sounds right. But
I have no idea. Too funny though.
Dude, the early internet was crazy times.
Oh my god. That whole era. I could just step into that time again and just not give a fuck about anything. Oh my god. You don't know what you have until it's gone. What are you supposed to know? It's the good old days before. It's the good old. I think I quoted that wrong.
But you're close though.
Yeah.
Andy from The Office.
Yeah, because just we talked about The Office earlier.
It's like
The Office reference.
That was one. I could rewatch that.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So you asked me what I've been watching. You know, I know. Have you been really getting back into Naruto? Have you watched?
I've been on pause.
Yeah.
Not
I know you watched some the other day.
purposely. Yeah, and then I did read some One Piece the other day. I'm like at the back in the Skypea still, which is a little rough. But and then Naruto, I'm like basically like I have a quarter left.
Yeah, probably a little less.
Less, about a quarter, I'd say left. I'm like.
Do you remember what episode you were on? Because I told you I need to watch 418 with you or something like that.
I forget which one you said you need to watch with me.
It's somewhere around there.
I think I'm like 380 something maybe.
Okay, yeah. So you're probably like 100 episodes.
But I'm doing filler, no filler. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm doing no filler, so it's going quicker. But yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay, that's legit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you'll be. I'm excited for you to finish Naruto because like.
Basically, we're dealing with
Ten Tails Obito. Oh, you already saw. You know.
Oh my god.
You know.
I'm so not ready for this name. I just put myself on the spot. Madara Uchiha. I'm just an idiot sometimes. Don't mind me.
Listen, as much as I love anime, still there's some that I just know the name.
No, I knew his name. I just was like, I was so confident, and I was, I couldn't think of it.
I knew his name.
Madara Uchiha. I'm in Madara just randomly popped back up.
Yeah, because he's fucking savage.
She's like, Obito, use a bitch. now,
literally just use
now
Obito.
I have you. And I'm you. And you're not anything now.
Sorry if you got this far and didn't expect spoilers, right?
Jesus, I know. You drop a huge. You won't even remember. If you go and watch it, even if you skip filler,
But
you won't even remember this.
True. But at least by the time we mentioned names, we had literally were like, we're around episode this 100. You know what I mean? So like, you should have known we were far.
Spoiler.
But you know, what else you want to point out is you said you're still in Skypea, and I've been seeing on TikTok a lot recently, in regards to One Piece. A lot of people talk about skipping Skypea, or like skipping arcs, and like Skypea, and there's one later down the road that a lot of people talk about skipping about. And
do they say Skype as one?
Oh yeah, because they're dumb. Because what I'm seeing a lot is a lot of people that I follow, they're like, how dare you cannot skip Skypea. Because yeah, right on the mic.
I have like this much love. I'm so thirsty. It's not even that I want beer really bad. I'm just so thirsty. I couldn't find your water when I got up.
I probably slipped in the back of the fridge. It's pretty hectic in there.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Skype. I want to finish it before I have too much to say. I don't hate it though right now from everything I remember reading on. I'm reading the manga for One Piece and I've been watching Naruto, skipping filler, and I think I want to Attack on Titans next. Do you like that?
Stop. I could go off.
I know you could. God, let's hear a little bit without any big spoilers, because I know there's lots of shit.
So, getting into this anime, there's one thing I'm going to say before getting into Attack on Titan, because it really, similar to One Piece, right? The anime itself is not a perfect anime, okay? Because in the creation of an anime, there's certain things they do, there's certain lapses of time, and just creating a show bullshit.
Yeah.
But the story, Attack on Titan is one of the best ever. It is such a well-made story, and like, so the finale, it just finished today, not today, this past weekend. I just watched it yesterday, so I'm a little biased, recency biased. I'm excited, but the connections that they have from episode 1 to the last shot of the final in season 4 or 5, the continuity, the depth of what the story they're telling, and no other story I don't think that I can think of right now has done such a good job of starting you here and pulling back as far and as well as Attack on Titan does.
You mentioned that to me.
Like, you watched the first. I did have him watch the first episode,
and that's what you said to me. And how just big it gets.
Which honestly is kind of a spoiler. Like, I do feel bad mentioning that because
but how much of a spoiler until you see?
You don't really get it.
Exactly.
You're not gonna
see it.
Yeah. Like,
and being like, if you were to say that to me like you did before I saw the first episode, dude, I was not prepared for that first episode.
And that's why
I can only imagine what God knows what happened.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it.
Well, I mean, after this, we could throw on the second episode.
I'm ready to throw it on.
But yeah, no, the finale. So there was some discourse, obviously, going into it because, well, one, they did this weird thing where they have like the last 2 big episodes are both an hour and a half, and they took like 3 years to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
So like they said it was gonna be done. They gave us like parts 1 and 2 of the final season, and then like, just kidding, there's more. So then we like 2 years. We get part 3 earlier this past year, like January, February maybe, and then they were like the final part, chapter 4, whatever, will be, just came out.
Yeah.
So people were very annoyed, like, one, that it just been taking so long, and also, like I said earlier, the anime is not perfect. Okay, so like there's some meandering, and season 4 was just a little, could have been better. The animation drops in and out, but with the finale, I thought it was fantastic. Like,
you think they wrapped it up well?
Yeah, there's some things that I can see why people might be upset about it. There's like some
pertaining maybe to like character involvement that they have and stuff like that.
I'd say character development or lack thereof.
Yeah.
There's like definitely a scene that has like more of a comedic twist, not even twist, but has a comedic aspect to it, and I super enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But some people were like, that takes away from this character and like where they have gotten to, like why they're doing what they're doing now in this final episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it also, at times, it struck me at like, they didn't really, like, this character didn't explain a lot of like what they had been doing or why as well as I thought they could have. But after like actually getting to the end and the credits roll and there's some crazy end credit stuff that I actually missed and had to watch later, like sitting back on it, it makes sense. It really does. Like, it's hard because I don't want to spoil anything for you, obviously, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Yeah. You should watch the show 100% all the way through. But yeah, it's just the characters are so well written, male and female. Because one thing anime always gets is like their lack of like well written female characters. Yeah. Not all. There's some that do it well. Attack on Titan, I think, does it really well. Yeah. And just like the scope and like the way that it plays with what you expect and what you think you know. Yeah. Fantastic.
And it's just mind fucks you.
Yeah. Easily. And like, for those people who say like, oh, I can't get into anime, like, I know whether they can't get into the anime-isms, like the stuff like really heavy in the Japanese culture, or they don't like the perviness, or they just can't believe like it can't be for kids. It's got to be for kids. I mean, like, it's a cartoon, like. Yeah,
watch the first episode of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Tell me it's for a kid.
Right. There's no way.
Yeah.
No kid should watch that.
No.
But every adult should.
Yes.
Because it's the political stances.
Anybody who has an enlightened sense of good content, an anime, you should watch it.
Yeah. Storytelling, if you want something like entertaining, you can find anything.
Elevated times, baby.
Elevated time.
Yeah, that's all I gotta catch up. I
For sure.
am slacking on the anime.
Is there anything else like on your list that you want? I'm gonna Prison Break. It's on your.
My Hero Academia interests me from what I hear a lot. And I think it was a while ago now, but I said something. And you're like, I hate to kill you. Because I had an idea. And you're like, My Hero Academia did that. And I was like, really?
Oh, what was it?
Forget. Couldn't remember. Wish I could. But do you remember that
I do remember
conversation?
You're like, it was an idea you had. You're like, it could be like this. And I was like, that's My Hero Academia.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, something, they did it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's another one.
Since you said that, I've been wanting to see it, and I heard it was good before that, and then the card game sounds fun.
Card game does sound interesting.
But yeah.
So My Hero Academia. Anything else?
I would say I definitely want to watch more Studio Ghibli movies.
Oh hell yeah!
That would be the second. As far as shows, what was that one that's like controversial that some people say is like not that good, but what I hear is pretty good? That my buddy Chris said he liked, and it's about like get stuck in a video game.
Oh, Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online.
Yeah,
I definitely want to watch that.
You definitely should because I'm never gonna watch it. I don't think.
No, never say never.
I mean, never say never.
I've never watched One Piece. Never did.
Fair. I probably
never get an iPhone.
I did give it a try. Like I started at one point, and I just never went back to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I probably will maybe at some point. But that's definitely because I would love to hear like someone's opinion I actually know on that. Okay. Hell yeah.
I've heard two people say it was good. Chris and John.
So this is a tough one for me to recommend. But you said you saw someone on Apple TV you were like you fucked with.
What?
Apple TV? Right?
I don't know how much I fuck with it yet.
Okay. But there was something you watched on that.
Oh, the beer movie.
Yes.
With Zac Efron. It's starting the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
There's
a really good show called Severance that may not get a second season. It ends on a crazy cliffhanger. But Apple TV, and it's about, I mentioned it before, basically people work at this job, and it's like this strange company, but if you get work there and you work deep enough in their company, you have to get the severance operation, where you don't remember your life outside of work, and outside of work you don't remember your life in work. So you literally like, it's one person, but like there's the person who during the daytime they're just walking around, they wake up and they're coming out of work. Like all they remember is stepping out of the door and stepping in the door. You know what I mean? And then there's the version of that.
Excuse me. I'm trying not to die. It's making it worse.
The version of them that only knows life inside the company. So like as soon as they just remember clocking in, and then as soon as they clock out, they blank. You know what I mean? So like they do not remember those two different parts of their lives, and
but they're both happening. Both parts.
Yeah, it's one person.
Yeah, both part of those lives are happening.
Yeah.
You know what's so BS a little about that? Because I had a great story idea like that. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so, but of course.
It's so this like really like mental disease this guy has where basically when he's sleeping, his dreams are so vivid and aligned to what you could perceive as reality, like most people would say when you're in a dream it felt real.
Yeah.
He never interprets what his actual living life is. So he's like, it's a mental like disability in a sense, but like he can't configure what's reality or realm. Yeah, what's dream. And I played it as a book more, and I never wrote it or got into writing anything. But yeah, as the reader, you're supposed to be trying to figure out like, wait, is this him awake or not? I'm confused.
Right.
And like you're just confused kind of the whole time until like you're like, oh my god.
See
I'll
that already
never
sounds
know.
different.
Yeah, I guess a little bit, but like that idea.
Yeah. The separation of those two lives.
Yeah, not knowing which one's which, or even in your case, not remembering them.
Yeah,
but they're both happening, and just Sorry.
I love that though. Like you should write that because, it sounds similar at one degree, but honestly, that idea, like, I know there's like a movie out there where like the guy has insomnia and like, or I'm pretty sure, and like when he's like half awake, half asleep, he kind of like blends like what's going on. He starts like realizing he can stop time. The idea of playing with like that sort of story, it's been done in different ways, but it's all about what you add to it, putting yourself in there. So,
True.
Maybe you should pick it back up.
Yeah, maybe I should think about it.
I know you do always just like you'll just kind of spurt out an idea, you know, keep it over there for a little bit.
I'm a big idea guy. Yeah. I got a lot of ideas.
I mean,
Don't
you've written
implement
stuff
like
before.
anything. Oh yeah, I do. I
you'll have
love
these
writing.
spurts.
I'm more writer than reader.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy reading, but I don't do it as much as I probably should. And I don't write as much as I probably should. But I love writing. I always did it throughout high school.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know. It was weird. Like I almost enjoy writing in a classroom over like just talking with my peers.
Right.
Because it was like I could just like dump my mind on paper and like doodle and draw and think of like, you know, poetry or like rhymes, raps, stories, dumb shit. Short stories were like my favorite. Like, you just get a quick like, you know, 2-pager. And you're like, huh?
Dude, I'll just say, like, if there was a class or assignment that, like, they let you just, like, write a short story, you know, give you a loose thing, and it's like, go off, I had the most fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember one, it was just, like, do something with time.
Yeah.
Play with time. And I wrote this whole story, which I think ended up becoming a movie. Like, someone else made a movie about the same exact idea.
Yeah.
But it was, like, basically, people found out a way to extract time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you could sell time, you could buy time, you
Yeah.
could steal it, barter for it.
Yo,
you know?
I know the movie.
People were like, people were like growing plants in abundance so that they
Yeah.
could steal the time and just keep themselves living.
Yeah.
And it was this whole idea of this person who like had stolen a bunch of time from everyone, and eventually someone got, and like side story, a little kid grows up and steals all his time in the end, and like you know, a little. But like I wrote that for a junior class, like philosophy class, just for the fuck of it. You
That's
know,
awesome.
like, I just love that shit.
And that movie came out like 3 years later.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, fuck
Did I put that in the wrong trash barrel? Like,
dude, I don't know why this made me think of it, but it's like that fucking Burger King. They definitely
the shake
stole
fries?
the shake fries.
if anyone out there remembers when they had those fries in the bag and what you like dump like
The cheese.
the cheese, and you shake it. Crazy.
Me
Not
and my
me.
brother, we were all doing it.
Yeah.
Our
you
entire
guys-
childhood. You grab the salt and the pepper, and you shake. You know, you dump all the fries in. You take whatever you need out,
Yeah.
and like, I just remember like one day they just came out with like the shake your fries with the cheese, you know, cheese powder, and I was convinced like someone is
This is
rich off of
wild.
my idea.
Yeah.
Like that is some bullshit, which is ridiculous.
Some
I'm sure
ex-
there's millions of kids who did shit like that.
Probably, but just to think a bigwig went to like a specific Burger King one day and just see this kind of tubby Hawaiian looking kid just shaking, like watching him do stuff to it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like he's like scientisting and then shaking. He was like, the kid's really enjoying that.
Oh yeah, I grabbed
You know what I mean?
my 3 salts, my 3
That's what I'm
peppers, and
saying.
rip all at the same time.
And he's like, you see what that kid just did? Like, what? Like, shake salt in a bag. Like, what? Yeah, what about it? What if we had cheese powder? I gotta go.
You don't understand.
Yeah.
He goes, oh man, yeah, just
So funny. What if you just like didn't remember, but he was like, "Thank you for the idea, kid," and you just like didn't even know he was talking to you?
yeah.
He was like,
Stranger danger. I just ran away. I was like, no.
"That looks so fun." Just shaking.
I love how I knew, but I still was like, oh, you mean this?
You read this?
Oh,
Shaking
God.
the bag. That's a good one.
That thing's clogged up. Too lazy to fix that.
Oh,
Yeah, try this one. So while we're on top, I mean, clearly we're smoking. A little about me. I do work in the cannabis industry. So, as I said, like storytelling and stories are a big passion of mine. Cannabis is another big passion of mine. You know, we fought so hard to get here, and I think it's just people need education on it, and there is applications for all sorts of people suffering and dealing with different things, and it's a beautiful, beautiful plant.
yeah. I'm definitely pro cannabis, and I just think
Oh, right into the camera. I'm sorry, yo.
I think it's to the point where there's like discrepancy involved, but at the same time, it's so many different generations involved right now with how it works and operates, and how different it is even from when it was 50 years ago, from what like old people will tell you, like how their marijuana was, and how it is today. It's tough because how the business is growing right now, it doesn't feel how people, maybe an older person would be like, oh, it should be looked at like alcohol. It's not how, it's definitely not. It's different. And it's tough for like some generations to like separate the two, because I don't think marijuana is anything like alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both drugs, but
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
one is a vicious drug that can destroy people, families, lives, and the other one is one that unfortunately doesn't do any of those things, but it did pertaining to the laws in the
Mm-hmm.
past. Where there's people today still in jail, there's people who've been murdered over it. There was a kid from my town who got shot over a pound of weed
Mm-hmm.
back in like 2008, 2009 or something. Like everyone knew that story. It just made no sense because my town was a big weed smoking town and everybody loved weed and it did not make anybody violent
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. And if anything, it made people friends with people that you would have never seen coming back in like middle school, and then you're in high school. Like, do you hang out? Like, oh yeah, they both love smoking weed. Like, that's kind of cool. Like whatever, but I don't know. I'm weird on the subject because I'm on a weird thin line where like I agree with how certain things maybe should go legally,
Mm-hmm.
and also agree with the way how certain things should go through like the public's eye. So
Yeah, I mean, keep my government out of my weed. Like, you know, I love it, I do. But for me, like, I think when I was before I was in the industry, when it was all coming up, like, the goal is to grow your own weed, right?
mm,
Like, that's what I want. I don't have the space or location to do it right now, but damn it, if I could just roll my own weed, you know,
yeah,
like
you
grow
go.
and roll my own weed,
You know,
just for myself, you know, like it just that freedom, like, and like you said, like it's very different from alcohol, you know, like
mm,
there's inventory, you keep track of your bottles, and if stuff breaks, you report it. It's not the same as the seed to sale traction that we
mm,
have from the state system that like you need to be able to prove exactly what was used in like very different, you
yeah.
know. And like
But
part of me,
sorry.
anyway.
No, I mean, me hearing from so many different generations too, like, it's just funny because some people don't like that it became more this way.
Yeah.
And they're still stingy to this day about it, even though it's been so many years and it's still evolving. And that's the tough part. Why I say, like, there's so many generations involved. Um, do I think we need generations of, young kids growing up with it being normalized to the point where they might want to dive in and take their parents' stuff at a younger age than they normally would?
Mm-hmm.
No, because that can happen with like alcohol
Yeah.
when it gets left around, left open, or it can go the other direction where like maybe if the parents are so bad with it, the kid's turned off to it and never wants to do it.
Right.
So it can go either way, but the worst thing weed has going for it is its smell when being smoked, and that's
Yeah.
always going to be a problem
Yeah.
in any public setting because a cigarette's one thing, it smells bad, but you get away from it, it dissipates. But weed smells bad to some people, and it doesn't
Stinks.
dissipate as fast.
Mhm.
It lingers and holds
Oh, yeah.
way worse than a cigarette would. I don't say cigarettes. I know say somebody who likes weed and watches this, like cigarettes smell disgusting. Weed doesn't smell bad. Everybody has a different opinion.
Oh yeah. I mean, yes, I'm a daily smoker and I work in the industry, but I get out of work, and I change into scrubs, but my clothes sit in that locker room. I always smell like weed. I get look. I haven't smoked. I'm driving home and I stop somewhere, get gas or whatever, and like people have made comments. People have looked at me and been like, like Karens have been like the
Think of this.
what?
Freaking you sweat out stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could smell like weed just from sweat too.
True.
It'd be,
It's
like, days
definitely
of
in my
smoking.
hair. If
Oh,
like,
that's what I'm
you had to
saying.
get a sample, like
Yeah.
it's in there.
It's in there.
I am.
Like we didn't even need a sample it. Why? We found a piece of nug in your hair.
Which, like, I mean, that hasn't happened, but I could easily hide a joint in my hair, like, especially at this point. This is the longest my hair's ever been. This is crazy that, like,
Pretty long.
it's crazy me thinking that this is gonna be out there,
Yeah.
and, like, just gonna be known as this long-haired tracksuit wearing. I wish this was reflecting as well. So, yeah, I had to address it.
Yeah.
Tracksuit.
You had
I
to
have a few.
address it.
I went the whole time never being like, yeah, I am wearing this for a reason because
Yeah,
I love a good tracksuit. This one's just a little special. I like my reflective mushroom
That
one.
one's sick.
Yeah, I
Freaking
wore it to Riot Fest. That was a blast.
hell yeah.
I literally was in the pit for Black Parade, MCR, fucking wearing this.
That's
going hard.
crazy.
It was the fact that I didn't like overheat was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It was middle of summer in Chicago.
Oh
Like,
my god.
but yeah, it was a good time. I mean, at that point it was like 8 at night, but still.
Yeah. That's awesome. You weren't even focused on dying from heat. You were
No.
like, this is how I want to die.
I like because I've always loved that sort of music, but I just never had really gone to many live shows. So
Mm.
that weekend was the first time I was ever in a pit.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
it wasn't MCR. It was early in the day
Mm.
because I think that was the first night. It was this band, the Front Bottoms, which I've seen like 4 or 5 times since.
What is it called?
The Front Bottoms.
The Front Bottoms?
Yeah, they're like a fun little indie shitty rock band. They
Yeah.
like it's known, you know,
Yeah.
but honestly they are. They're dope. They're a good time. They kill their performances. And yeah, I was just like, you know, in the pit there and like that didn't leave the entire weekend. Like
Yeah.
every single person we went to go see except for there was one artist. He died. It's not Genuine. Pete Cool. It's gonna bug
I
me.
have no idea. Dude, I was in the pit way back in the day for a 311 concert.
Hell yeah.
And I'm
311,
telling you,
never seen that.
if you don't know 311 like that, dude, they get down and they got some funk jams.
Yeah.
And dude, people back in the day, like all these dudes from like Vermont, they were like all these people from Vermont like religiously followed them around, and they made the mosh pit so violent and friendly at the same time.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But definitely, everyone was just like hammered and
yeah.
like getting tossed around. It
There's
was
something to
with so much enjoyment to just like, you know, strangers pushing and like not intentionally trying to kill each other. They're
Yeah.
just like, you know, they're put. I don't know if you don't understand like moshing and being in the pit.
there's
like,
pit etiquette. For
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
And I mean, you know, like I'm not. It's not like I've been doing this my whole life, but like even just being in that 3-day festival, like different crowds did it differently. You know what I mean? Different bands.
for sure.
I remember
Different
the amount
vibes.
I got booted in the face by chicks being fucking crowd surfed past me
Oh my god.
so many times. Because some
Really?
crowds, people will be like, yo, watch out behind you. Or like, hey, person coming, you know, just like something so you know to look. Oh, help people. No. The amount of times that I would just be like, oh, I gotta keep my head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Bam! No, I broke like 2
God.
pairs of glasses that weekend.
Really?
Yeah, which was dumb that I was wearing in the first
Hey.
place. But I mean, you know, just like, and they weren't even on
People
just
just
like,
crowd surfing.
oh yeah, mad crowd surf. I wish I was
God.
small enough to crowd surf. I wish, dude. It looks so much fun. But no, I'm the fucking asshole who's picking everyone up. Do you know the times
It
that people
looks
were like,
weird.
yo, help me get up? Or like, yo, we gotta get this person up.
I don't know if I like crowd surfing.
No?
No, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Have you ever done it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I just
The
I don't
idea
know.
of it.
The idea of it is a little weird. Just a bunch of hands just like moving you around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, like, depending on the show, I would do it. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, it definitely would depend on the show and the energy
Yeah.
of the people.
Not just like any old crowd.
Because there was a clip, I forget what singer it was. She like tried doing it and being cool, and people just were like fawning all the shit out of her as soon as she jumped in. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Yeah, and she was like, oh my god, like what's security supposed to do at that point? Like she committed.
Right.
I was like, woo,
Scary.
like
Or,
I forget who it was.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's different for being a celebrity, but like there's an extra fear in being the entertainer
Yeah.
going out into the crowd because like, you know, crazy fans have existed since
True, that's
celebrities
different
have.
than
You know,
just
so.
being like a fun party person.
Yeah.
Yo, I love those videos where people go, they just like Hail Mary themselves and nobody catches them.
Oh my god,
I hate
those
that.
are fucked up.
They're so fucked up, but I love them.
like
Dude,
you can't help but watch.
I saw a video not that long ago. Oh my god, this kid definitely fucking broke his spine or something. I feel
Oh my
bad.
God.
Dude, he was trying to do like a pool jump,
Ooh.
and he missed the pool.
Wait, like they springboard him into the crowd?
No, he was like on a roof, and he went to go
Oh.
like jump, and he like, I don't know what he did, but like he like missed, and like if you watch it close enough, dude, he's like, oh my god, I'm like,
That's such brutal. The pool ones always hurt because you're like, you know, they're just trying to have a fun pool day.
yeah,
And this asshole's like, I'm gonna jump off the roof.
yeah.
And everyone's thinking,
I've done this 100 times. Like, all right, bro.
oh man. See, I thought you were talking about specifically at like a show when people like be tossing people forward. Do you ever see that?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
I've
that's
seen
fucked
that,
up.
Yeah.
They just say nothing and someone just gets fucking.
I'd be the dude who dive in that. Like,
Yeah,
either
right.
nobody caught me or like everyone moved. Which is so funny. I've seen ones where like everyone's like, it was definitely, you know, somebody was already being annoying in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then they're like, ah, and they jump up and they just dive at the wrong people who like he already pissed off earlier probably. And I'll just watch them slam to the ground. A few people notice who weren't involved in the situation come up and be like, are you okay? Dude, I've seen some benders and people hitting the ground hard. I'm like, holy fuck.
Oh yeah, straight ground.
The
you know.
confidence.
They're lucky if there's some grass to help them there.
Confidence.
Also, sorry because you can definitely hear Rhea slurping it up back here. I do have a little pup. We let her back.
She's
in.
not a pup. She's
I
a
always
dog.
think she's a pup.
She's a girl.
But yeah,
She's a good girl.
you know, I got a small apartment, so she can go into the back room area over there. But her water bowl's over here. She needs to come get some. So
I think Rhea drinking some water is a good outro right there.
yeah, Rhea, you want to say hi? Come here. Come here, girl. Yeah, there we go. I know you want me to pick you up. Oh, don't hit the mic.
Rhea.
This is Rhea.
She's our mascot.
Yeah, she's our little friend. Hi, girl. But yeah, hey, thank you. You know, if you got this far and you've been watching along, look out for the next one because we're gonna keep this going.
Oh yes, Elevated Times podcast.
Hey.
Definitely, you know, if you like the video, like, share, follow us. We're on everything. Just look at the look at our bio or whatever. But thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Peace.